Hey there, Latin 3. Now we're on to 55 big C. So if you turn the page past the exercises, 55 lil A and lil B, and go a little bit further even past 55 lil C. By the way, page 17, there's a very important map. You'll need that later. We're on to 55 big C. All right, it's about 14 lines of translation. It's more on Pompey and Caesar, and then we'll skip ahead again in time. So we're going to Bill and Ted our way through this. So here we have Caesar versus Pompey kind of toward the end of the fight. All right. So from there in Thessaly, or then in Thessaly, at Old Pharsalus, they, Caesar and Pompey, fought with huge numbers of troops established, drawn up, levied, stationed, deployed. There we go, on both sides. Pompey's battle line had 40,000 foot soldiers, 600 cavalry on the left wing, and 500 cavalry on the right wing. Okay, and in addition, the auxiliary troops, that is like reserves, or drawn up locals essentially, from all over the east, so everywhere from Greece forward. See, Pompey and the nobles had a lot of money, so they're able to pay for a lot of soldiers. The entire nobility, innumerable senators, ex-praetors, ex-consuls, and those who had already been victorious in great wars. So in other words, Pompey has everything stacked to his advantage. Okay, he has the great team. Caesar had fewer than 30,000 foot soldiers on his battle line and only 1,000 cavalrymen. So Caesar is outnumbered by quite a bit. Never up to this time had greater numbers of Roman soldiers come together in one spot, nor with better leaders. Easily they would have conquered the whole world if they were led against the barbarians. So, you know, what a great tragedy that the two greatest generals of all time with the two greatest armies of all time are going to fight each other, and they're going to destroy all that Rome could have been. Then they fought with a huge struggle, and Pompey was defeated in the end, and his camp was sacked or destroyed, plundered. He himself was routed, put to flight, and headed for Alexandria in order to get reinforcements from the king of Egypt, to whom he, that is Pompey, had been given as protector by the Senate. So the Senate basically said, "You're going to be in charge of this kid," back when Rome was working, because of the king's, young age. This is King Ptolemy, I want to say the 14th, I might be off. He, the king, the young king, the boy king, who was only like 14, following expediency rather than friendship, killed Pompey and sent his head, Pompey's head, and ring to Caesar. The ring is your symbol of your citizenship. Once Caesar saw this, it is said that he even shed tears as he gazed at the head of such a great man, once who had been his son-in-law. And that's right, because Caesar had married his daughter off to Pompey. Pompey was actually in love with Julia, too, even though they were many, many years apart. But she died in childbirth, which then Caesar said, "Well, marry another female in my family." And I feel it appropriate to use the word female in that context. And Pompey said no, which kind of signaled to Caesar that their alliance was going to be over. And Caesar cried, this is true, but he didn't cry for the reasons that a lot of people think. It's not like, oh, my poor son-in-law, and oh, what a great man. I think he cried at the loss of opportunity. Caesar's greatest power was forgiveness. His superpower was that. If he beats you, he then forgives you and co-opts you into his ranks. And so he historically would go very easily on people who fought against him if they would ask his forgiveness. And in so doing, he would have ended the civil war right then and there. But instead, Pompey's army now sees Pompey as a martyr, etc., etc. So the fight is going to go on. So Caesar's weeping openly, because in the Mediterranean you do that, but also because he's missing an opportunity here, and he realizes that this just got harder, not easier. All right, so that's the end of Big C. If we're in class, I will, of course, be showing you what flanking is and all kinds of stuff when we get to the actual Battle of Pharsalus. It's fun, but in the meantime, I'm going to hit the button.